So let me propose a three-step process. The first, we have to agree on some principles. And the principles start with transparency, and secondly, about tracking manufacturing capacities and value chains, and third, about not putting in place sort of artificial barriers to the trade in say clean tech products and services. We can keep adding to these principles, but and we reflected that in the G20 in India 2 years ago, both for supply chains and for critical minerals. But let's just reflect on these three. Why transparency? Because without understanding the environmental impacts of where different things are being made, you actually incorporate those externalities, and then certain geographies might get away with concentration in the production value chains, but with a much larger damage to the environment. The tracking of global value chains and manufacturing capacities is needed for the word I said earlier, and it is there in sentence 1 of your Belém Declaration: coordinated effort. Coordinated effort is different from cooperation. Game theory, cooperation means you have something, I have something, and we trade, and we find some kind of a midpoint. Coordination is you and I can't reach, A and B can't reach C unless we work together. That's a different approach. Only if we map out, like I was seeing that report you have done, I think you're going to release it. We are doing similar things in India. You map out your existing capacity, you map out your comparative advantages, etc. Then you say, hang on, it's exactly like, suppose you and I are throwing a party, okay? You bring the drinks and I will make the playlist, right? By the way, you have a great playlist here before the session began. You bring it, only the two things together deliver the final outcome. That is why you do a mapping of those capacities. And third is then don't put artificial barriers. Have climate peace clauses in trade agreements, right? Otherwise, what are we talking about? With one hand, we're talking about sustainability. On the other hand, we're imposing barriers, and we're trying to make all of our economies vertically integrated firms, from mine to the final product, everything we'll make on our own. I said this last week, the world cannot move to a sustainable development pathway through protectionism. It's just not.